and really going and buying those tickets. And I'm sure they're going to have a huge. This could be one of the big, probably maybe the biggest one of all time, I would think.
Give it some feedback, anything like that. And hey, if you're listening on podcast, or if you want to, we're also available on Apple and Spotify. You can just type in Four Horsemen Network on your feed of choice, hit subscribe. You not only get this show, but you get Arn Anderson as well too. So we pack a double punch on that. All right, yeah, let's get to it, man. Elimination Chamber went down, and sure enough, we got some history-making stuff happening. John Cena is the one to sell his soul. We talked about it last week. Who would make sense to sell their soul? I don't think any of us predicted it was going to be Cena, and sure enough, it was. So
I thought both TA and I did.
Oh no! Did you predicted he was going to win? So and that was right.
I thought we did. Maybe it was when we were off the air.
Maybe that was it. Well, so wow, pretty awesome. I thought it was a lot of fun. But I want to get your guys' thoughts. Magnum, let's start with you. What did you think of that John Cena heel turn and him being the one to face Cody at WrestleMania?
It couldn't have been a better setup because he was so well received in the chamber match. They were popping on everything he was doing. He was obviously the sentimental favorite to win, and the crowd was behind him. And when he won it and the big pop, and it was storybook the way the whole thing was written. You couldn't take him any higher, and then just yank the rug right out from under him, all within less than 5 minutes. It was unbelievable ride.
Absolutely, holy smoke, Greg! What was your reaction? Did you have a sense it was coming?
Oh, I thought it was terrific. It really was kind of an old school.
Mm-hmm.
When you look back at it, and I don't think anybody ever thought that would happen with Cena turning like that. And it was really set up well by The Rock, in the last the weeks prior to the match, talking to Cody and telling him, what he had to do to get on board. And Cody came back and told him what he thought of him. And I thought that was a high point of that. and then Cena turning. It was spectacular. It's going to give him a huge WrestleMania.
My goodness, yeah, setting some really intriguing stuff up, for a lot of up and coming baby faces too. After the fact, it's all said and done when Cena and Cody are done with one another. Imagine some baby faces going up against the heel Cena potentially. What we could see from that on that farewell tour, lots of interesting things that come into play with that. Man, yeah, but it really set a big tone for what we can get excited about for WrestleMania here up forth and coming.
They really set it up well for the WrestleMania, mm-hmm. and through a few shots in there that nobody expected, and that's when you really get people talking and really going and buying those tickets. And I'm sure they're going to have a huge. This could be one of the big, probably maybe the biggest one of all time, I would think.
Oh, let's double back to Cena here real quick. Charlie asks a question here. He says, "Do you guys think Cena will really end his in-ring career as a heel?"
No.
Yeah. I don't think so either. No. Yeah. I think we're getting a really fun kind of ride here with Cena that we'll get to see something different that people kind of been clamoring for and didn't expect at this juncture. So when it comes to the heel turn itself too, people have been obviously making the comparisons because of the names like Hogan at Bash at the Beach. And I understand why they do that, but I also think it's very different in a certain way because Hogan was still an active talent at that moment in time in the business, and that his character was kind of running stale in certain ways, the babyface aspect of it all. So him doing that was not only kind of preserving himself as a wrestling persona, but in turn was really big industry changing. This is more so Cena telling a story with The Rock in regards to somebody made a great comparison about Andre. It's being Andre turning heel at WrestleMania 3 for Hogan in a lot of ways, because we're so used to Andre being a babyface that we didn't end up seeing him ultimately turn heel for a big good guy like Hogan was something different. Do you kind of think that way too, Magnum, or how do you feel about Cena in comparison to like a Hogan heel turn almost?
I think it caught people more off guard, particularly because they just had him painted in a lane. It'd be a farewell tour, go around, shaking hands, kissing babies, doing all the, stuff that he certainly should get the accolades for and do all our way around, because he's a great attraction, still in great shape, still, one of the best talkers, in the history of the business, to be able to stand out there and storytell the way that he does. So, I think that's what really caught everyone off guard, because they'd already, again, accepted in their mind what was going on, and everybody was cheering for him to get that WrestleMania moment and, kind of get his flowers. And he just said, I got a whole lot left in this tank. I'm going to rip the knob off and throw it at somebody. And he showed that, there's more layers to John Cena than anybody ever would have thought.
Yeah, absolutely. Greg, I don't know.
Obviously, you don't have MediaCom, do you? I'm going to give him a little.
Oh no, you got it. You're the internet guy.
The worst fucking service I've ever had in my life.
You're like Cody, cutting a promo like Cody right there.
I'm going to. Yep, I'm taking it from Cody.
Hey, MediaCom, go fuck yourself.
Yes, that's for sure. Hey, I called him a couple of weeks ago, and right during the big games and the matches, it's going blank for like 10, 15 minutes. So I called him up, and I just ripped him up, and they said, well, okay. And I said, this has been going on now for a long time, and I lost a lot of TV time and a lot of great things I was watching. So you're going to give me a discount on it. Oh, yes, we will, Mr. Gagne. We'll do it. $5.
$5.
$5 freaking dollars. They got another call from me after that.
Oh, man. I don't blame you there.
I'm up to 20 the next time.
Yeah, right? Gee, oh, man.
I'll tell you. I'm sorry about that, guys.
That's okay. So did you catch it? How would you compare the John Cena heel turn to the Hulk Hogan heel turn there, Greg? I got Magnum's perspective, but I wanted to hear yours too.
I think that there was more shock to the Cena one.
Okay, that's what Magnum just said.
Yeah, much more impact than it had with Hogan.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
I mean, it was a good one with Hogan, but that one the other night, that threw everybody.
Yeah, got a lot of people off guard.
TA predicted it prior to that, though.
Well, it is funny though. I was watching the chamber match with my kid, and I was going, I said, he looks fantastic. I said, but it's odd that he's so pasty white looking, and everybody else has got, their spray on tans or whatever they got. But he had this, like, he almost looked like alien by comparison. He's so, he was so Caucasian looking.
Yeah.
And it plays so well into what he ended up doing. It's like all the red-blooded, loyal American hero juice went out of him, and he bought into the Rock's mumbo jumbo, and he looked like something from the zombie apocalypse when he did that stone face deal.
That stone face, right?
Yeah,
he sure did.
And the minute he did it, of course, everybody knew. But I mean, anybody's watched him, in the movies where he's been in a heel role, he's a great heel. So, I mean, I'm sure his schedule is going to be limited in what he's able to do with it. But man, if he had the bandwidth, they could get a lot of squeeze out of that thing.
Oh yes,
I mean, because he could carry it. He could carry that title as a heel and have everybody in the world coming after him for a good solid year, and everybody would be down to see somebody kick his ass.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Like, just imagine too the potential. Like you have like a Braun Breaker going up against him, or like Roman Reigns' music hits.
Well, he would be the guy to me for Roman to finally come back and take him out. That would be the thing to do. But
right.
But gosh, I'm sure. Again, he's out there making cinema and and movies. I understood he just flew in for that, flew right back out, and had to be back on set like the next day somewhere in Egypt or something. So,
Wow.
so yeah, he's a multi-talented fellow. But you think about the star power between Cena and The Rock, and both of them heels, both of them loving what they're doing and just playing into it. Good gosh.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too, is Cena's such like a student of the game, a passionate student of the game too, like that, like respects the history of the business, because I heard stories about him like always approaching wrestlers and stuff like that and kind of giving them their flowers backstage in certain ways. And so it's neat that I'm sure he's looking at it from a perspective too, is his way of giving back to the business. Like, how can I make the business better? And if Cena's I can't take credit for my co-host Robert Karpelis mentioned this, but he mentioned how it's almost like Cena is like, just he understands that he's going to elevate everybody by being The Rock's lackey, like in certain ways, because it's just like that's how you really get. If Cena turned bad, he knew he was just a bad guy, like by himself, people would still kind of like him, I think, because it's finally heel John Cena. But now that he's a lackey to The Rock, it's like, what is there to like about him? You know what I mean? So I think it's kind of neat to look at it that way, maybe in perspective. So,
and Travis Scott looks like he's out there potatoing everybody that's walking.
Oh my gosh, did you see that?
You see Cody selling his ear afterwards. He was like, "What? Yeah, my ear okay?"
Jeez. Holy smokes. So yeah, Cody might, from what it sounded, he has a busted eardrum.
I mean, he smacked the crap out of him.
Yeah. Whew. Man. Well,
You think The Rock will come back in the ring?
I think at some point. I don't know WrestleMania though, right? I don't think WrestleMania will see him back in the ring.
Maybe he'll go down the road with a Cena Rock against Cody and somebody.
Cody and Punk.
Cody and Reigns.
Yeah, Cody Reigns, Cody Punk. Who knows?
Now you go through the whole year and you have Rock against Cena.
Yeah.
Switch Rock back, Cena back.
Right.
Have them up head to head at the tail end of the devil and his henchmen and go at each other.
Yes. Oh my gosh, absolutely.